Season 3 of The Pass is here. I know it's long overdue. We have a new intro. We still got the same content. Well, actually, it's a little bit of new content because there's new things going on in 2019. So buckle up. We got a lot of things to talk about on The Pass. What is up? What's going on? What's good? This is your host, BT. Episode 253 of The Pass is here. I am going to do something a little different. As you all may or may not have noticed, sports and tech a little bit have been a little on the dry side for unforeseen purposes. We did have some golf go on this weekend. I don't remember the guy's name who won. I know basketball is kind of on its die down because we finished summer league, so that's kind of a figment of our imagination. Football is quietly revving up. If I do recall, we're looking at probably, I'd say mid-August that you get your preseason matchup. So we'll chop it up on that as time progresses. And on the tech side, I mean, there hasn't been any big like huge news other than Gears 5 is in its beta and they're letting people kind of test out the multiplayer, which we kind of saw that coming. So that's not like a scathing premium content in a sense, but it is something that is going on. So today, I was initially supposed to record on yesterday and things occurred. No excuses, no subliminals, no anything, because life happens and collaborating on shows is something that I'm still working on myself. So that's something of an accountability factor that's going to be learned and worked on through, continuance of recording. But today, and since I have it as the title of my blog, I thought it was only fitting to make it the title of the podcast because I have talked about this on a personal level, but I'm going to bring it to my podcast on a listening level. I'm going to take you all back to 2006. Matter of fact, I can kind of go 2005 because that's kind of where things started, where there was a big transition. I was working 2 jobs, I was volunteering, and I was going to school. And a lot of people would probably look at that now and say, I mean, that's a normal day, that's a normal routine. But for me specifically, that was a little extreme, but it got done. And it was done solely on the basis of just sheer mental focus and just having the schedule prioritized and put in place to achieve it. I worked for one company that was kind of my baby. Then I was given an opportunity to work for another company, and it was mostly a factor of having schedules not conflict with each other, but also still making sure that I had school in the rear view as far as if I was going in the daytime, if I was going in the evening. At that time, I was taking a lot of night classes, so it was the transition of being prepared to take trips after work to class. And it got done. You gotta sacrifice. So completed the program. I ended up getting my bachelor's in networking, and a decision was made. I knew the main job that I was working needed to be let go in order for me to put time into the other job that was really to lead into and possibly pursue my career, which I did. And I got in, got comfortable, got the ball rolling, and put in work. And I was dedicated, but I wasn't devoted. And at the time, I didn't understand the importance of the impact of the role until I made what I considered one of my riskiest and most conflicted decisions of leaving that company on a short notice to go to another company. And the other company that I went to, it wasn't a solid position. I thought it was, but obviously it wasn't. If I could give any advice to anyone who listens to the show, be aware of the process when working through a subcontract. I'll hold you there first, and then I'll kind of give you the cut and dry version of it here. The company that I went to and leaving the other business, it was a solid gig. It was a simple gig initially starting off. It mainly consisted of loading and unloading a couple of tapes and making sure backups were squared away for the night. It started off there and it ended to me being released. Now, the release part, I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit only because I had been with the company for a little over a year, and nearing my 1 year point, a position or an opportunity was offered to me to become a supervisor, which I said, okay, no problem. I'm all for it. Just if I can get tools or get tips, training, anything that would help. That didn't occur. It happens. You live, you learn. But I also was given a position of being like the lead tape librarian, which at that time meant anything and everything that occurred came through me. And having that amount of pressure or that amount of critical thinking, I didn't know the extent of it at the time until the position carried itself and until time presented itself. So when the time came of letting me go, I was kind of blindsided, but I also realized there was a transition occurring in the job market as far as the economy. If a lot of you may or may not recall, at the end of 2007, a good amount of 2008, unemployment spiked and companies were mainly trying to do what they could to make ends meet, which meant some people got let go. Some people were given lower hours. A lot of different things happened. None of that's an excuse. None of that's justifying anything, because going back, the initial position that I had before taking the other position abruptly was a decision and a choice that I had to live with personally. While I was in school, I even had an option of taking a certification that I know at the time I should have gone for, and I probably would have passed it with no problem. Because what's interesting, and well, I'm not gonna say interesting, but what's coincidental now is the certifications that I'm looking at. So any of my tech heads, A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus, part of the CCNA, or not CCNA, but CompTIA performances for computer technology. If you took those exams before, I believe it was July of 2011, you were basically grandfathered in, which meant if you took the exam and you passed it, you're certified for life. Now, if you get the certification, your certification lasts for 3 years and it has to be renewed every 3 years, which is understandable. It's about business. It's about money. And I'm not using that as any excuse or any plateau, but I'm just speaking on it as part of the story. But at the time, one of my teachers pretty much offered an option, part of the class, stating if you took the exam, if you took the certification, the A+ certification, and you passed it, you were exempt from taking the final exam. confidence wasn't on my side. Comfort was not in the cards at the time, and I didn't go for it. That also was something that could have really played a role into what I was pursuing and wanting to pursue now in my current career or current job hunt. So I give that backstory to lead up to now because work has been work. I've enjoyed, remaining employed and getting positions and opportunities because no opportunity should be unnoticed or not acknowledged. All of that being said, now I'm ready to get back into the field. And getting back into the field as a newborn, a little older, with the skills, but still having to remember you have to still kind of show a company, hey, why should we hire you? Is different and it's new. But it's a challenge that I'm willing to take on, which then correlates to the title of it being time. I didn't know where I was going to go with certs before because about a couple of years ago, I was gun ho A+, A+. Well, let's see, this is July, I believe May, either April or May of this year, a newer version of the A+ certification came out. So that meant one or two things. Either buying a new book or I was going to have to do the A+ cert, study it and push it and get it done. I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing A+ based on my career path, but I still feel like I'm going to likely attempt to go for it at some point. I've now been studying the Network Plus book, and I looked at the amount of chapters in the book as well as my reading and my time and my devotion to that. Because of my focus on because I have a lot of other books that I want to read, Show Your Work, Heal Your Art, 7 Habits to Successful People, 7 Habits to Successful People. I have a lot of other books that I've been holding on to and wanting to read. All of those books have been put on the backside because I want this certification to be, the book to be finished and the certification to be passed. So now's my time. This is my time. This is my chance. This is my opportunity to get what I deserve, to go for what I've been pushing for. I've lived through dreams. I've wanted to talk about traveling and doing things, but I've never actually pushed myself the way I've been realizing I had to push myself lately, which is good. My roommate said this to me, and this is something that I'm learning as well along the way. There's no timetable on success or reaching the finish line. Meaning, if you finish school, if you do something in your 40s, near your 40s, in your 20s, you got it done. And a lot of times, we aren't really at our best if we don't get things done because we're deterred by wanting to wonder what if and how come we didn't get this said activity or task done. So, as you can hear and as you can tell, there's no premium. Well, there's premium content, but this is more of a pass the message premium content. And bear with the sound. I'll try to adjust it as best as I can. But I just want to share with everyone who's listening to stop using excuses or stop running away from what you're meant to do. I've done that. Lately, I've learned to stop doing it because the more I do it, the more I'm leaving opportunities on the table. And that's kind of been what's generated me working on more things such as the Rely on BOT brand, obviously the blog, definitely with podcasting. These are things that 5 years ago I would have never done. And now here we are, and it's like, okay, like the title says, and like I've said, it's time. So find your time, find your opportunity, and just do it. You're bound to fail. You're bound to mess up. It's okay to go through those mess ups and fails, but just know you're doing it for a purpose, and there's a bigger goal down the road. That's really all I got for today. I'm not going to do any bells and whistles, nothing major. I will likely prepare topics for next week, but I'm still going to have my option in the back pocket just in case, because I'm learning better safe than sorry. So that's all I got for today. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, if you want to check out any of the previous episodes, Spreaker.com/Brate Podcast. And podcasts are uploaded and recorded thanks to the Yeti microphone, Blue Yeti. And finally, if you do have a chance to listen to any shows, and I always share this and give it as a reminder, please give input or feedback or any possible reviews. They are appreciated. Giving a star review is great. If you give a written review, that's even better. And I'm working to see what I may do regarding those, because I know a lot of people probably are annoyed by the 30-second ads. I'll work on that. There might be something coming. I'm not sure, but just be patient. But anyway, we've hit our point, or I've hit my point on this topic in just today's show. So until next time, y'all take it easy. The Paz signing out. Peace. Another episode is in the books. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. As I always share, if you'd like to get into podcasting, you can check out Spreaker.com. And if you're looking to invest in a microphone, or if you're looking to genuinely start with recording, I use the Blue Yeti microphone, but you may prefer to do the Samson Meteor. Just know that if it's your craft and it's something that you're meant to do it and do it well. That's my main thing to tell people about 2019. Do it and be reliable. Y'all take it easy.